Hey Bougie click. Did you know that videos tagged with hashtag Passport Brothers have garnered almost 420 million views on TikTok? Today, we're ripping the lid off the not-so-pretty truth behind Passport Bros and Play for Pay. Is it a romantic quest or a shady endeavor hiding in plain sight? Are these guys seriously finding true love on foreign shores, or is there a more sinister, darker reality to their adventures? We're about to rip the curtain back on the grim truth of these so-called passport bros and reveal how their actions reek of desperation and low value. From taking advantage to battling deep-rooted self-esteem issues, we're exposing the hideous reality behind the smoke and mirrors. Hold on to your hats, because we're about to plunge headfirst into the motivations, the potential pitfalls, and the questionable ethics of this controversial trend. Red Pill exposed, the shocking truth behind Passport Brothers and pay-for-play relationships. The Passport Brothers phenomenon, love or exploitation? In recent years, the term Passport Brothers has gained traction on social media, referring to men who travel abroad in search of romantic relationships or marriage with foreign women. These men often engage in pay-for-play arrangements. These men often claim that they are unable to find suitable partners in their home countries, particularly in the United States, and believe that women from other cultures possess more traditional values and are more respectful and wifely. However, women in these relationships are often pretending to like their partners for money or American citizenship. Also, a huge portion of these relationships involve transactional elements, and most of the so-called better women are prostitutes. This phenomenon has sparked significant controversy and debate, raising questions about the ethics and motivations behind such relationships. As an American woman, I find this trend troubling and indicative of deeper societal issues. I believe this practice is problematic and that true leadership and financial stability in men should naturally attract women without the need for international escapades. Men in this group seek relationships abroad to gain access to women's bodies and labor without providing the respect, emotional connection, or financial stability that a healthy relationship requires. The allure of foreign romance. For many passport brothers, the appeal of seeking love abroad lies in the perceived differences in cultural values and gender roles. They argue that women in countries like Brazil, Thailand, and Colombia are more traditional and family-oriented compared to their American counterparts. This perception is often fueled by the belief that these women are more submissive and less demanding, making them ideal partners for men who feel disillusioned with the dating scene in their own countries. Additionally, the economic disparity between the United States and many of the countries these men visit plays a significant role. The US dollar's strength allows these men to enjoy a higher standard of living abroad, which can be an attractive prospect for both parties involved. However, this financial dynamic can also create a power imbalance where the foreign women become financially dependent on their American partners, leading to potential exploitation and abuse. The illusion of love. First and foremost, the notion of pay-for-play relationships is fundamentally flawed. Love, by its very nature, cannot be bought. Genuine affection and emotional connection are built on mutual respect, shared values, and deep understanding. When men resort to paying for companionship, they are not fostering real relationships but rather engaging in transactional interactions. This commodification of intimacy undermines the essence of love and reduces it to a mere business transaction. The role of true leadership. A man who is a true leader and financially stable would not need to seek love abroad. Leadership is about more than just financial prowess. It encompasses qualities such as integrity, empathy, and the ability to inspire and support a partner. A man who embodies these traits will naturally attract women who appreciate and value him for who he is. The need to travel abroad for love suggests a lack of these qualities and an inability to connect with women on a meaningful level within one's own culture. The problem with bad pics. Men who feel the need to leave the country to find love struggle to form meaningful connections at home. This is not a reflection of the women in their home country but rather an indication of their own shortcomings. It is easier to blame the dating pool than to engage in self-reflection and personal growth. A man who cannot attract a partner in his own country may need to examine his own behavior, attitudes, and expectations rather than seeking a quick fix abroad. The dark side of the Passport Brothers movement. Critics argue that the Passport Brothers phenomenon is inherently exploitative. They contend that these men are not genuinely seeking love but are instead looking for vulnerable women they can control and manipulate. The promise of a better life and financial security can be enticing for women in economically disadvantaged countries, making them susceptible to the advances of these men. Once in a relationship, these women may find themselves trapped in a cycle of financial dependence and emotional abuse. Moreover, the behavior of Passport Brothers often perpetuates harmful stereotypes about both foreign and American women. By portraying foreign women as more desirable and submissive, these men demean and devalue American women, contributing to a culture of misogyny and disrespect. This not only damages the self-esteem of American women but also reinforces negative stereotypes about women from other cultures, reducing them to mere objects of desire. The impact on relationships and cultural values. The Passport Brothers movement also raises concerns about the impact on cultural values and relationships. When men treat relationships as business transactions, they trample over the cultural values and traditions of the women they pursue. This can lead to a loss of cultural identity and a sense of betrayal for the women involved. Furthermore, the transactional nature of these relationships breeds distrust and resentment, undermining the foundation of genuine love and partnership. For American women, the actions of Passport Brothers can feel like a slap in the face. These men use their foreign escapades to demean and belittle American women, damaging their self-esteem and perpetuating harmful stereotypes. This not only affects individual women but also contributes to a broader culture of misogyny and disrespect. It is crucial for women to stay vigilant and aware of the potential dangers posed by these men. By understanding the motivations and dynamics behind the Passport Brothers movement, women can protect themselves from becoming victims of exploitation and abuse. The trend of Passport Brothers often reveals deeper issues that these men face. When foreign women initially meet these men, they might be charmed by the novelty and the promise of a better life. However, as they get to know them better, they often realize why American women have distanced themselves. Many of these men are financially unstable and lack the ambition or willingness to improve their circumstances. Instead of working on personal growth and building a healthy relationship based on mutual respect, they seek women who they believe will submit to them without question. These men are often looking for a quick fix to their relationship woes, rather than addressing the underlying issues that make them undesirable partners in their home country. They expect submission and loyalty without offering the stability, respect, and partnership that a healthy relationship requires. As a result, foreign women, once they see the true nature of these men, often choose to leave, seeking better opportunities for genuine connection and mutual respect. Key points to consider. Transactional relationships. Many of these men engage in relationships that are transactional in nature. They pay for companionship, which can include anything from casual dates to more intimate relationships. This can create a power imbalance and may not lead to genuine emotional connections. Criticism of American women. Some Passport Brothers criticize American women for being too independent or having high expectations, particularly around financial stability and traditional gender roles. They often claim that American women are less interested in being homemakers and more focused on their careers. Economic disparities. The financial aspect plays a significant role. Men from wealthier countries can leverage their economic advantage in less affluent countries, which can lead to relationships based on financial dependency rather than mutual affection. Cultural expectations. These men often seek women who they believe embody more traditional values, such as being nurturing and supportive. They may feel that women in other countries are more likely to fulfill these roles compared to women in the U.S. Ethical concerns. There are ethical concerns about exploiting economic disparities and perpetuating stereotypes. Critics argue that this behavior can be seen as a form of modern-day colonialism, where men use their financial power to gain companionship. Financial instability among passport brothers. Misrepresentation. Some men in the Passport Brothers movement may portray themselves as more financially stable than they actually are. This can lead to unrealistic expectations and potential conflicts when the truth comes to light. Economic leverage. The appeal of being a passport bro often lies in the economic leverage they have in less affluent countries. However, this leverage can be misleading if their financial situation isn't as strong as they present it to be. Sustainability issues. Constant travel and maintaining relationships abroad can be financially draining. Many men might struggle to sustain this lifestyle long-term, leading to financial instability. Criticism of double standards. Critics argue that it's hypocritical for these men to seek traditional women who they expect to be homemakers while they themselves may not be able to provide the financial stability traditionally associated with the provider role. Sex tourism versus genuine relationships. Sex tourism. Overlap. There is some overlap between passport brothers and sex tourism. Some men may engage in short-term relationships that are primarily transactional, which can include paying for companionship or sexual services. Stigma. This overlap contributes to the stigma surrounding the Passport Brothers movement, with critics arguing that it often involves exploiting economic disparities for sexual access. Increased risk factors. Multiple partners. Higher exposure. Engaging with multiple partners, especially in different countries, can increase the risk of exposure to STDs. Lack of medical history. It's often challenging to know the complete medical history of new partners, which can increase the risk of contracting STDs. Cultural and legal differences. Healthcare access. Access to healthcare and STD prevention measures can vary significantly between countries. In some regions, there may be limited availability of testing and treatment. Legal protections. Different countries have varying laws and regulations regarding sexual health, which can impact the availability and quality of care. Underage dating is a massive problem that somehow slips under the radar. You'd think it would only happen in sketchy corners of the internet, but guess what? It's right under our noses. Some of these so-called passport brothers are twisting their travel escapades into a sick game, preying on vulnerable women, including minors. Not only is this disgustingly immoral, but it's also flat-out illegal and causes untold damage. The issue of underage dating and exploitation by individuals traveling abroad is a significant concern globally. While exact statistics are challenging to pinpoint, several factors contribute to the prevalence of this issue. Economic disparities. In many countries, economic hardship makes young women and girls more vulnerable to exploitation by foreign men who appear financially stable. Legal age of consent. The legal age of consent varies widely across countries, with some as low as 13. This can lead to situations where relationships that are illegal and considered exploitative in one country might be legal in another. Sex tourism. The Passport Brothers movement has been likened to sex tourism, where men travel specifically to engage in relationships with younger women. This often involves manipulation and exploitation, taking advantage of the women's economic and social vulnerabilities. Organizations like UNICEF and various human rights groups are actively working to combat child marriage and exploitation globally. They emphasize the importance of education, economic opportunities, and legal reforms to protect young women and girls from such predatory behaviors. Additionally, there have been alarming reports of passport brothers being robbed, drugged, or even killed after being set up by women they met abroad. These incidents highlight the significant risks involved in such relationships. Real-life incidents. Drugging and robbery. Colombia. There have been multiple reports of men traveling to Colombia who were drugged and robbed after meeting women through dating apps. The drug scopolamine, also known as devil's breath, is often used to incapacitate victims. Safety warnings. The U.S. Embassy in Colombia has issued warnings about this trend, advising travelers to be cautious when meeting people through dating apps. Violent crimes. Increased risks. In some cases, these encounters have led to violent crimes, including murder. The financial and social vulnerabilities of travelers can make them targets for such crimes. A significant portion of the Passport Brothers movement includes Black men who are vocal about their dissatisfaction with dating dynamics in the United States, particularly with Black women. This has sparked considerable controversy and backlash. Criticism of Black women. Negative stereotypes. Generalizations. Some Passport Brothers make sweeping generalizations about Black women, portraying them as too independent, demanding, or difficult to please. This can perpetuate harmful stereotypes and contribute to negative perceptions. Response from Black women. Backlash and defense. Rebuttals. Many Black women have taken to social media to defend themselves and counter the negative narratives. They argue that the Passport Brothers are seeking submissive partners who will cater to their needs without demanding respect or equality. The Passport Brothers movement is nothing more than a tactic to negatively manipulate Black women into accepting less in relationships. Here are some key points to consider. Negative manipulation. Negging. Psychological tactic. Negging is a form of emotional manipulation where someone gives backhanded compliments or mild insults to undermine another person's confidence. Critics argue that some Passport Brothers use this tactic to make Black women feel less valued, hoping they will lower their standards. Public criticism. By publicly criticizing Black women and comparing them unfavorably to women from other countries, some Passport Brothers may be attempting to pressure Black women into changing their behavior or expectations. Impact on Black women. Emotional toll. Hurtful stereotypes. The negative generalizations and public criticisms can be hurtful and perpetuate harmful stereotypes about Black women. This can affect their self-esteem and how they are perceived by others. Pressure to conform. Some Black women may feel pressured to conform to the expectations set by Passport Brothers to avoid being negatively labeled or to keep their partners from seeking relationships abroad. Ladies, it's crucial to stay vigilant and aware. These low-value men are not just seeking love abroad, they're often manipulating foreign women and using their experiences to demean and negate American women. These guys charm foreign women with fake promises of love and security. They might seem like the perfect partners, but let me tell you, it's all a sham. They're just hunting for vulnerable women to control and exploit. The emotional damage they leave behind is no joke. They may act like they're rolling in dough, but they are actually manipulating women into financial dependence and abuse. They're flat broke by American standards. These men treat relationships like a business deal, trampling over the women's cultural values in the process. It's a vicious cycle of exploitation that breeds only distrust. And for us American women, it's a slap in the face. They use their foreign escapades to demean us, damaging our self-esteem and peddling harmful stereotypes. So, next time you meet one of these guys, steer clear. Trust me, you don't want to be their next victim. Remember, your worth is not defined by anyone else's actions or opinions. Stay informed, stay empowered, and always prioritize your self-respect and well-being. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest discussions and insights. What do you think? Are Passport Brothers low-value predators or men looking for love? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie.